Hey folks, today we're going to look at a DBT duplicate package error and kind of what it means and what to do about it. So here I've got two DBT packages. Now, importantly, these packages have been deprecated or no longer maintained. So if we go to the DBT expectations repo, you can see that this says it's no longer supported. And this will be the same for the DBT date package as well, right? There's a different maintainer which has now taken over the ownership of this DBT package. So if you try and do DBT depths with these, we'll see a warning that shows up, right? So for example, we can see DBT is warning us and saying, hey, this logical DBT date stuff has been deprecated in favor of this Go data driven DBT date, right? Now we can do the same thing for, like if we do to all deprecations, then we should see the warning for both packages. So you can see here, I've got the one that says Logica DBT date switch to Go data driven DBT date and Logica expectation switch to metaplane. Okay, cool. Now, what happens is some users see this and then they say, okay, I'm going to try and update this DBT date package. So we go to the hub and then maybe let's search for date, right? So you can see in the hub, which is the latest state of what's the right packages you want, we see this says Go data driven DBT date, right? So they're going to take this and then they're going to kind of paste it here. And then now they're going to do DBT depths, right? So here you think, okay, I've updated this and then I'll leave that alone and then let's see what happens, right? So here we run into an error that says found duplicate project DBT date. Now, and this occurs when dependency has the same project name as some other dependency. So what is happening here really is that we have tried to install DBT date twice. Now, why is that? So first, let's comment this out. And then here's my DBT packages folder, which I'm just going to clear out, right? And then I'm going to clear out my package log and all that stuff. Okay, so notice here, I only have one package, here logical DBT expectations. If I do DBT depths, notice how we also installed Logica DBT date, right? You can see that in my packages folder. I didn't specify DBT date, but it has came along anyway. Now, why is that, right? If we go into the DBT expectations repo and we go to packages, what you'll see is that the DBT expectations package itself requires the installation of an outdated package, Logica DBT date, right? So basically, by doing this, here, this package, there's a dependency on installing DBT date, Logica. And here you have also told DBT to please also install Go data driven DBT date. And we know that you can't have two packages with the same name, right? So essentially that's what happened. DBT has something called transitive dependency. So you don't have to specify DBT date. This by installing DBT expectations. DBT expectations itself has a package.yaml file. And that package.yaml file calls for the installation of DBT date, which is why you get the error that says you have tried to install two versions of DBT date, which when you do this is essentially what you're asking DBT to do, right? So how can we fix this? Well, first you want to make sure that you don't use this one anymore, right? Make sure all your packages are up to date. So I'm going to go to my hub and then I will look at DBT expectations. I'm going to get this metaplane version. And let's have a look at the metaplane expectations GitHub for a second. And let's see what other packages it requires. And here you can see that, DBT expectations has itself a packages YAML, but now it has the updated version of DBT date, right? It's no longer using the old Logica stuff. So for example, Logica expectations is using Logica date, but metaplane expectations is no longer doing that, right? It's using Go data driven DBT date. So if we do this, and then we do DBT depths, then you can see we install expectations. Expectations requires Go data driven DBT date, and therefore we have also installed DBT date, right? Even if you do this, it's perfectly fine, right? Because we no longer have a duplicate version of DBT date, right? We have DBT date that only comes from Go Data Driven, and not like the previous time where we had DBT date coming from Go Data Driven, and because you still had this old expectations file, right? You're also installing Hellogica DBT date, right? Hope that helps. Thank you.